26 minutes onto the 7 o'clock. What an appropriate song for this time. Yeah, as they hurriedly try to start World War III. I welcome you to Good Morning Grenada for today. It's Tuesday, the 6th day of May. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a good morning thus far. I hope you had a great night. As we say good morning to Yulin Alexander, of course, Jillian McIntyre, Mildred Smith, good morning.
These times are terrible.
Good morning, Zamora, Judy.
Yes, it
Good morning to the folks on the Sister Isles of Carrier, Coupé, Martinique, the Grenadines. Good morning. If you're locked on from St. Vincent, good morning to you. Monica Miros Williams, good morning to you. Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thanks for locking on to Good Morning Grenada for today. I'm your host, Gordon Innocent Joseph, destined to win overcomer. Says good morning. Have a wonderful and productive day today. Thank you and same to you. Nice, nice, nice. Munich, good morning. Bacolet. Pedmata, good morning. Vincent's, Windsor Forest, Dudma. Don Lett and the folks inside of Providence, good morning, good morning, good morning. Catherine Phillip, good morning to you. Nice. Let's head on to the word of the day. That word today, that word is placid. Placid. P-L-A-C-I-D. Placid. What it means? It means calm and peaceful. Calm and peaceful. Here's how we can use the word in a sentence. The placid lake reflected the clear blue sky. The calm and peaceful lake reflected the clear blue sky. Yeah. Good morning to my good pastor friend that, all right, let me go here and say, all right, he sends this, Tuesday blessings, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. And that's coming from Matthew 4, verse 4. May God be with you, give you rest, answer you, sustain you, strengthen you, protect you, and bless you and your family tremendously in Christ Jesus' almighty name. Good morning. Have a lovely day. You too. He says, blessings, Tuesday blessings. May your day be blessed to overflowing. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore, my heart greatly rejoiceth, and with my song will I praise him. Thank you, Apostle. I think it's Apostle. I can't remember, man. Come on, send me your name. Good morning, Erlin. How are you doing this morning? Hope you're doing fine. Yep. All right, I've got taking a rest this week. Petlin, where you a big girl, man. What? That's good. Erlin, how are you doing? All is well, all the way in the U.S. In Trump's country. Good morning to you, Heather. How are you doing? It's time for me to say good morning to Nadisha because it's time for the motivational tip of the day. Lauren Salim, good morning. Yolan Swan, good morning. Jillian McIntyre. I look nice this morning. What, Jillian? Yulin Alexander says amen and amen and amen. Seek opportunities to learn. Every situation has a lesson. Stay open to learning from every experience, both positive and negative. Every situation has a lesson. Yeah. Stay open to learning from every experience, whether they're positive or negative. I always say that. When life serves you lemons, use them. Don't cry, oh, lemons, lemons. Use them and make lemonade, all right? Nice. He's worthy to be praised.
Holy Spirit, take my soul. Holy Spirit, fill my soul.
Laurie Bridgman, good morning. Good morning, Laurie. How you doing?
My soul.
I want to say good morning to the folks at the Cadrona home in Lafayette, the matrons and the residents, the folks at the Chichester home, the folks at the home in Pomerose. You know, the staff there, you're doing a very, very noble job, right? I want to extend my deepest condolences to my friend. Could you imagine this? We're good friends, but names I just don't, you know. I think it's Sonia. Yeah, she's in that Springs, right? Yeah, that eatery place right next to the NNP's office, the sub office there. Or is it NNP office or an election sub office? Man. Destined to win, Overcomer is dancing. I thought that was Yulin song, boy. Everybody catch on. Let's quickly see what's buzzing this morning. Buzzing, 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 buzzing. Murder accused inspector has been granted bail. In the region, Guyana opposition leader accuses the government of downplaying circumstances in the death of Adriana Young. Internationally, Hollywood is shaken by Trump's tariff plan for the movie industry. Yeah. And in sports, the Grenville Secondary School to play the Grenada Boys Secondary School in the opener of the Junior Schools Cricket Tournament from today. Pearls, good morning. Yeah, you've got cricket action. Good morning. Simon, make some sandwich and juice. Get some what we call gospo and make some gospo juice and sandwich and bring for the guys, all right? Yeah, they will be very appreciative of that. Annie Modeste. Good morning, Annie. How are you? 19 minutes. I just turned 18 minutes on to 7. All those of you celebrating birthdays today, wedding anniversaries, whatever you're celebrating, if you're just celebrating life with the opportunity to overcome today, like me, have a good day. The folks inside of Belial, good morning. Boozum, good morning to you and the family. Tanti, good morning. How you do? Yeah, right. Nice. It's a good day to have a good day. The folks at the housing project in Corinth, all of you, good morning. Good morning to the Rasta man, Nuts man. The folks in the Mohai, good morning. Fen and the crew, good morning to you. All right, Corinth. Syracuse. Nice. Malty. All right, Annie, I am alive and thankful. Good morning, Dr. Fort. Still limping, but still get the chance to come to do this thing yet, man. Mary E. Banks just joined us. Folks, the AM edition of News Sports and the weather comes up right after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp. Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp. Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
Looking to shop online from your favorite stores like Amazon and Shein? With GPC Global, it's never been easier. Get your very own US address and shop from around the world. With GPC Global, you can order the latest trends and must-have items, all delivered straight to Grenada to your closest post office for your pickup. We offer the cheapest rates and our service is reliable and quick. No more waiting for weeks for your packages. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Join the Grenada Postal family today and start shopping smarter. Visit us online at www.grenadapostal.com or call us on 437-POST. That's 437-7678. GPC Global, your gateway to the world.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. Coming up in the news, murder accused, inspector granted bail. In the region, Guyana opposition leader accuses government of downplaying circumstances in the death of Adriana Young. Internationally, Hollywood is shaken by Trump's tariff plan for the movie industry. And in sports, cricket, the Grenville Secondary School to play the Grenada Boys Secondary School in the opener of the Junior Schools Cricket Tournament starting today. We've got the details to this and more after these messages.
Served Grenada for decades. We are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Good morning, good Tuesday morning to you with the news in detail. I am Gordon Joseph. Tensions run high outside the St. George's Magistrates Court on Monday as family members and supporters gathered demanding justice. A heavy police presence was evident outside the court, but there was no visible sign of Inspector Kellon Noel, who was taken to court via an alternative route. Noel is charged with non-capital murder in connection with the death of Welsh. Noel is also facing 3 counts of grievous harm related to injuries sustained by others during the same shooting incident at the Sunset City Festival in Victoria on April 27th. The police officer was notably protected from public view, a move that sparked outrage from Welch's relative and supporters. Noel, who previously served as the officer in charge of the Victoria Police Station and was also the Sergeant of Arms for the RGPF, has since been suspended from duty. He appeared before Chief Magistrate Francine Foster and was ordered remanded to Richmond Hill Prison until his next court mention set for May 23rd. Shortly after, his attorney Benjamin Hood filed an application for bail with the High Court, the only jurisdiction authorized to hear such requests in indictable matters. GBN has been reliably informed that bail was granted to Noel with specific conditions. However, the specifics have not yet been disclosed. Welch, a father of two and a property caretaker from Nonpareil, was shot in the head and died at the General Hospital after 2 days in critical condition. Family members of the deceased told reporters that neither Noel or members of his family have reached out to apologize for the unfortunate fatal shooting. Welch's death has shaken the community of St. Mark and reignited conversations about police accountability and the use of force during public events. A preliminary inquiry into the charges against Noel is scheduled to begin at the Victoria Magistrates Court on August 25th. GBN will continue to follow this developing story. The Fiscal Resilience Oversight Committee, FROC, in its 2024 report, said that central government finances strengthened sustainability in 2024 and deterioration in the fiscal balances projected due to the impact of Hurricane Beryl, and which was included in the memorandum to support the activation of Section 9 of the Fiscal Resilient Act, the FRA, that did not materialize. This was attributable mainly to higher receipts from the IMA, which is the Investment Migration Agency Grenada, and proceeds from CCRIF, the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility. Despite the increase in total expenditure, consequently, a primary surplus of 11.3% of GDP was recorded in 2024. Negative fiscal balances are projected for 2025, influenced by a fall-off in revenue and greater expenditure. The 2024 report will be officially discussed and presented to the media in a news conference on May 7th. Finance Minister Dennis Cornwall triggered the escape clause of the FRA in September 2024, approximately 2 months following Hurricane Beryl. This means the government does not have to comply with the fiscal rules requirement for the public debt target and the primary balance rule during a fiscal year when the condition for suspension is applicable. The Fiscal Resilience Act became effective from January 1st to 2024, with one of the main objectives of providing greater flexibility for the government to manage the economy. The Fiscal Resilience Oversight Committee was established by law, and its 5 members are appointed by Parliament. That concludes the first segment of news. The local segments stay with us. The regional and international news are straight ahead, followed by the sports and the weather. In the region, Guyana's opposition leader accuses government of downplaying circumstances in the death of Adriana Young. We've got the details to this and more in the OCM News package.
Meanwhile, the country's leader of the opposition, Aubrey Norton, is insisting the administration in office is seeking to downplay circumstances surrounding the death of Adriana. Mr. Norton is not yet ready to accept what the professionals have said.
To date, the government has displayed no willingness and urgency to consent to the demands for one, an independent criminal investigation into the events at the Doubleday Hotel by international experts. And two, an international probe into the entire operations of the Guyana Police Force, including the use by the police of live rounds and deadly force during public protests. Instead, both President Ali and Vice President Jack Dale have been trying their utmost to divert attention.
According to Mr. Norton, at a time when the nation is grieving over Adriana's death, the government is still not doing enough to get justice. A mini tornado in the French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe. The authorities there are today evaluating the damage caused by the weather event yesterday. Major damage occurred in the residential area of a town called Belcourt. Fire and rescue services have been deployed. Videos and photographs circulating on social media show scenes similar to the passage of a hurricane. Guadeloupe has now been placed under orange alert for strong rains and thunderstorms. Media reports say the island was being affected by a west and unstable air mass. The French authorities have warned that heavy rains and thunderstorms are expected to return, given the weather pattern over the past few days. And cases of measles are increasing in some parts of the United States. As a result, the authorities in the Bahamas are ramping up immunization. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville says his ministry has already launched a massive immunization campaign aimed at reaching the most vulnerable. It targets children and adults who would have missed their shots. Dr. Darville said yesterday the concern is even more important when one considers the increase in flights between the Bahamas and U.S. states where the disease is prevalent.
Measles are popping up in many states in the United States, and we have direct flights from those states. And so we have gone on an all-out alert throughout the country to demonstrate that we are serious about getting those who are not immunized in order for us to reach herd immunity and protect our kids and our tourism sector, because all it takes is one or two imported cases, which we have to report, to come to the countries like Turks and Caicos Island, Belize, and once these cases are reported, it creates a problem in the country, and we want to make sure that if we do have imported cases of measles, our kids are protected.
To stay ahead, the ministry has activated a strategic response plan.
And looking further afield, filmmakers and Hollywood financiers are baffled, to say the least, by President Trump's announcement that he wants a 100% tariff on movies produced outside the United States. Several movie studios and streaming industry executives who spoke with CNN are downright apoplectic because they believe the president hasn't thought about the ramifications of his proposals, which could decimate an iconic industry. On first blush, it's shocking and would represent a virtually complete halt of production, one industry insider remarked. But in reality, he has no jurisdiction to do this, and it's too complex to enforce. Meanwhile, Vladimir Putin, Russia's president, has said that he is always thinking about his succession and suggested that there could be a contest between several candidates. Putin served as president from 1999 to 2008, then as prime minister until 2012, and then again as president from 2012 to present. He is the longest-serving Kremlin chief since Joseph Stalin. And finally, Volodymyr Zelensky has issued more comments in the last few moments on the prospect of a ceasefire. He has reiterated his stance that a ceasefire should be at least 30 days to give diplomacy a real chance. That's the regional and international news. Stay with us. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. morning, sporting fans. Cricket dominates again. Grenville Secondary School will face the Grenada Boys Secondary School in the first round of action in the Ministry of Sport Junior Secondary School Cricket Tournament. The action bowls up today at 10 a.m. at the Pearls playing field, and everyone in the vicinity are expected to show their support. Meanwhile, Cricket West Indies has unveiled an exciting and dynamic 15-member squad for 3 one-day international matches against Ireland from May 21st to 25th and another 3 against England from May 29th to June 3rd. The squad has the nucleus of players who were successful during a home series wins against England and Bangladesh to end 2024. The highly anticipated tour will be the first one for this year for the limited overs team and provides an opportunity for CWI to focus on building its ODI team ahead of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2027. CWI also announced changes to the coaching staff for the tour. Former West Indies fast bowler and 2012 World Cup champion Ravi Rampal will be the team's bowling coach, replacing James Franklin. CWI will also utilize the services of former Ireland all-rounder Kevin O'Brien as part of the coaching staff during the Ireland leg of the tour. West Indies ODI squad reads: Shai Hope as captain, Jewel Andrew, Casey Carty, Roston Chase, Matthew Ford, Justin Graves, Amir Jangu, Alzari Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Brandon King, Evan Lewis, Gudakesh Moti, Sherfin Rutherford, Jaden Sills, and Romario Shepherd. There are 2 Josephs on the team. I wonder why. That's a good thing. Folks, that's the sports this time. We'll have more sports for you during our luncheon edition and, of course, our prime time. And we now head into the weather forecast. And folks, for the latest weather forecast, we join forecaster Jonathan Price at the forecast desk at the Morris Bishop International Airport. Good morning, Jonathan.
Good morning to you and good morning, listeners. Here is the weather for today, Tuesday the 6th of April, 2025, as recorded at the Morris Bishop International Airport. It is currently mostly cloudy. Winds are coming from the east at 13 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is 1013.2 millibars, which is normal and rising. Present temperature is 27.2 degrees Celsius and relative humidity 84%. Yesterday's maximum was 30.5 degrees Celsius and the minimum last night 25.9 degrees Celsius. Only a trace of rainfall was recorded over the past 24 hours, hence the total for the month remains at 31 millimeters. And now for the public forecast for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique Valley for today and tonight. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy with slight haze, becoming fair at times with a few light showers. Today's max will be 30.5 degrees Celsius with winds easterly to southeasterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour, becoming variable to calm at times. Seas will be slight to moderate with waves 2 to 4 feet in open waters. High tide will be at 10:45 a.m. and low tide at 5:30 p.m. Sunset will be at 6:22 and sunrise at 5:45. Just to repeat the public forecast rather for today and tonight, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy with slight haze, becoming fair at times with few light showers. From the forecast at Morris Bishop International Airport, I'm Jonathan Price. Have a great week.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Have yourself a wonderful day likewise. Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick & Thompson Company Limited.
Meet Mom. She's not just the wake up at the crack of dawn, make breakfast and pack bags kind of mom. She also gets her fitness game on. Yeah, she's the don't let anyone forget anything kind of mom. At the same time, she's the runs her own business, closing deals kind of mom, who finds time to get down and boogie with the kids after school, remodel the house, bake cake, host dinner, and even play her favorite game at the end of the day kind of mom. So let's celebrate Mom, because to us, she's so much more.
Four minutes gone past the 7 o'clock. To end the news, a recap of the headlines. Murder accused inspector granted bail. In the region, Guyana opposition leader accuses government of downplaying circumstances in the death of Adriana Young. Internationally, Hollywood is shaken by Trump's tariff plans for the movie industry. And in sports, GSS to play GBSS in opener of Junior Schools Cricket Tournament from today, and the CWI announces its one-day international squad for the touring team. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I'm Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Grenada for more great track and field action on May 17th and 18th at the Kirani James Stadium as our athletes strive for supremacy at the Classic Lighting Athletic Championship. Come support our stars as they sprint, jump and throw. It's the Classic Lighting Athletic Championship May 17th and 18th, Kirani James Stadium from 11 a.m. Start preparing now.
Heritage Theatre presents Breaking Out, the Grenada Love Story, featuring Robert White and Lisa Grappi, written and directed by Chris DeRiggs.
But I still love you, Richie.
You love me and you're hard me. 4 big performances, Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th May at the Grenada Trade Center, Saturday 31st May and Sunday 1st June at Deluxe Cinema in Grenville. Showtime 7 p.m. sharp.
He's the love of my life, Auntie. You have to marry a man for other things besides love, child.
Get your tickets at Mitchell's Pharmacy in Grand Anse, Gittins Health and Wellness Wall Street, Gabriel's Pharmacy Pedmata, St. David Pharmacy, St. Andrew Pharmacy, Art and Soul Boutique at Spiceland Mall, 3B's Shoe Store, and GoToFed.com. Breaking Out. Come out and enjoy Grenadian theater at its best.
This ad complements Classic Lighting Caribbean.
Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products to make both new installations and maintenance a breeze. Our shelves are stocked with top quality products including pressure and waste fittings. And if you've been struggling with blocked drains, have you heard of Melt? This powerful drain-unblocker liquid is a game changer, designed to prevent and clear blockages, making it ideal for hairdressers dealing with clogged wash sinks. We also carry a wide selection of repair kits and replacement parts to bring new life to old plumbing fixtures. Visit us today on the Woodlands Main Road or call 444-1377 for expert advice, top-notch products, and a warm welcome. At the Supply Store, we do everything plumbing. Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products.
Have you ever wondered how you can benefit from the Grenada Citizenship by Investment Program? Then IMA Grenada invites you to its public forum on May 13th at 5:30 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Regulations have changed to create more space for local participation, for local developers and those who want to become local developers to tap into new opportunities. Hear from top experts from the CBI Committee, IMA Grenada, and GIDC. This is your opportunity to learn the process, ask your questions, and learn how to be involved. So don't miss this chance. Remember, Grenada Trade Center at 5:30 p.m. on May 13th. See you there.
ATB speed, start, manage, expand. Don't come small.
For success, call us at 444-4919 or visit us at acbonline.com to learn more. Start, manage, expand your business today.
All right, welcome viewers and listeners to the conversation this morning. We've got two laps in this relay this morning. I've got first nonetheless Dr. Keisha Lowe, and I'm so happy to meet her in person. I've heard about her so many times before, but meeting her in person is always a pleasure. Dr. Lowe, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Joseph.
How are you this morning?
I'm fine, thank you.
Are you usually an early riser? Or?
I am.
Okay.
I love to get up early and do some exercise and manage stress and get ready for the day. It energizes me and makes me feel wonderful.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's good news. All right, so Dr. Lowe is here to talk to us on a very important, timely topic this morning, asthma. And today, is it today World Asthma Day?
Yes, sir.
Give us a backdrop. Before we get into this, you're a specialist in a number of different fields, in the medicine field, right?
Yes.
So give us your backdrop, please.
Well, basically, I'm an internist, which is a specialist in adult medicine. A lot of people don't realize that internal medicine is really a specialist in adult medicine. Just like everybody knows that a pediatrician is a specialist in child medicine, children medicine, but they don't realize that internal medicine is actually the same thing for adults. So I'm a specialist in adult medicine as well as in children medicine. I did a double specialty.
Also from the cradle to the grave.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
From the cradle right through to the grave. You're the one to talk with.
Excellent.
All right. Yes. You've just become my next best friend. Okay, so asthma, a condition that is very prevalent in Grenada and across the world.
Yes.
But it's also a condition that people don't pay enough attention to.
Exactly.
Am I right?
You are correct. And that's why the GINA, the Global Initiative for Asthma, established this day, the second Tuesday of May. Actually, it's the first Tuesday of May, to celebrate World Asthma Day. And so this has been going on since 1998, and really the purpose of it is to really raise awareness about asthma, as well as to educate physicians as well as patients about asthma treatment and management. And they do a lot of research, and they, put out new updates and protocols regularly. So
that's good. There are a lot of misconceptions about asthma. I'm an asthma survivor myself, so I died many times before with asthma because in my youthful years the medication wasn't updated as they are now. Nowadays you can get a shot of hydrocort or prednisolone and so forth. In my days, you go to the doctor for asthma, he gives you Ventolin. You understand? Yeah. And my grandmother would boil all the different bushes, jumbi onion, and the bitter bush, and so forth. But the misconception that people have about asthma, some people think asthma is a cold, but I know differently. Exactly. What exactly is asthma?
So asthma is a respiratory disease. It's a lung disease, and it has two components. It has bronchoconstriction, which is why you hear wheezing. People are familiar with wheezing, chest tightness. But the second component, which people sometimes don't realize is important, is the inflammation and mucus production. So if you only use a blue inhaler, the Ventolin, you're not really treating your asthma correctly. You have to also use an inhaled corticosteroid to be able to deal with the inflammation and mucus production.
So the Ventolin and the Bicotide.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right. You're really familiar with it, aren't you?
Of course.
And this year's theme is to make inhaled treatments accessible for all, because asthma, there's at least 260 million asthma sufferers worldwide and at least 450,000 deaths annually. But a lot of those deaths could be prevented with proper management. And unfortunately, 96% of those deaths occur in low, middle-income countries because of lack of accessibility of price, first of all, as well as lack of accessibility to certain medications.
I am of the opinion also that lack of education.
Yes, for sure, definitely.
Because I am tempted to believe that if people understand what asthma is and what are some of what we would refer to as the triggers of it, then they will take the requisite actions timely.
Yes, exactly.
So,
and prevention is better than cure. You can actually, you may not be able to cure asthma, but you can control it and prevent attacks, and that's really what would be, ideal.
If I'm not mistaken, recently in the news, I think I've read that some new breaking technology or what is coming forth for a cure for asthma.
Well, let's wait and see.
Yeah, but I know it would be difficult because you don't know what causes it.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with family too, and genetics, and a lot people who have members in their family who have eczema and allergies, and people who have other members of their family who have sinus, which is really allergic rhinitis. These kind of allergies run in families. The patient would tend to be more likely to have asthma.
So what can people look forward to as triggers? What are the main triggers of asthma?
Well, especially in children, viral infections, even in adults too, but in children, for sure, viral infections trigger asthma. That's one of the most common triggers. The patient starts out with cold symptoms, and then they start to cough, and then the cough just continues. The cold will resolve in terms of the symptoms of runny nose and things will go away, but that cough will continue. Constant coughing, especially more in the evening and 4-day morning, early morning, and that could be asthma.
Okay.
And when the patient complains, sometimes the parent will bring the child and the belly, they're just complaining of abdominal pain, nothing else. And when you listen to them, their chest is tight. You don't hear anything. When you give them a nebulizing treatment to open the airways, then you're hearing the wheezing because the chest was so tight they had to use their belly muscles to really breathe. And then they complain of belly pain, but they don't realize, and they don't tell their parents, I'm having chest tightness and I can't breathe. They may not realize, or they don't know how to express that, but they could say, Mom, having a bellyache.
And even sometimes because of the use of the abdominal muscles as well, it could appear as bloating.
Or, but a lot of times the parents will say, I saw how they were breathing last night, so I'm concerned and I bring them in. So you just have to watch and be aware, know.
In terms of the pets and so forth in the household, would that be?
That can. There's something called dust mites. Dust mites are something that live naturally in our environment. No matter how clean you are, dust mites is something that live in your pillow, your mattress, and things like that can trigger asthma. And so I recommend patients get these dust mite covers for their mattress and their pillow. That helps a lot. And just the environment, dust in general, smoke, animal dander, like you mentioned, the sargassum. Lately, we've been having a lot of sargassum blooms, and they release hydrogen sulfide gas, which triggers it. Don't forget the Sahara dust. There's some things that we just really can't avoid. Sahara dust is one of them, and when it's high in the air, then you have more asthma attacks. Then burning, people used to burn. I don't find people burn as much now, but back in the day, people would burn bush, burn tires, burn all kind of thing, and expose the people in the neighborhood, the village, to the smoke, and that can trigger it as well. And don't forget stress, exercise, all these things can trigger asthma.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that, because I wonder if but having you saying that now, I realize stress is my trigger. Whenever I'm stressed, my asthma, my chest gets tight.
Yeah.
So sometimes I wonder, is this really asthma? Maybe it's just stress. So from a Grenada's perspective, how serious an asthma problem do we have?
Well, the thing is, we don't have much recent research. I was trying to find some recent research because sometimes I get tired of talking about other people's statistics, but we really haven't had much research in Grenada in the last 10 years. Not much research at all. But
So,
I would say at least an average of maybe sometimes, depending on the age group, like children, I would say at least probably 20%, maybe 2 out of 10 kids. But the good news is that when you get asthma as a young child, you have a 80% chance of growing it out. So out of every 10 kids, 8 of them will grow it out as they go through childhood, which is a good thing. And I think it's those kids whose parents really manage the asthma more, aggressively are the ones that would have an increased risk of growing it out. And those who, like, sometimes you talk to the parents and they're like, oh, they cough at night all the time, and they don't think to bring them for that. They'll bring them for something else, and then I'll be asking questions and then find out that this child is coughing regularly at night. That is not normal,
Okay. So, do you think enough is being done from an administrative standpoint to really focus on asthma? Because it kills people.
It does kill people, 450,000 people a year. Definitely. No, I don't think enough is being done. And I think that's why one of the reasons why I thought it would be important for us to really start recognizing World Asthma Day and, encouraging people to be more observant, and if they themselves are having chest tightness or coughing, go and see your healthcare professional and get this thing checked out. See if you do have asthma, because it could be something else too. It could be chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. It could be your heart. There could be other things that could be going on. So it's up to you to really make sure you get checked out. Let someone, especially when you're having symptoms, go in and have your chest examined to see what's going on.
Now, you use the word symptoms. What are some of the symptoms that are related with asthma?
So you can have chest tightness, you can have fatigue, you can have a cough. Coughing is more common in the younger ages. You can just feel, exhausted. Sometimes you don't sleep well if you're, having symptoms at night. It can affect your daily activities, shortness of breath when you're doing activities and things like that.
Okay. All right. So, if there are parents and guardians out there who might have children who they think or they suspect might be asthmatic, what course of action should they take?
Well, they need to take them to their healthcare provider. And that's another thing. A pet peeve of mine is what happens. Patients and parents sometimes doctor hop. So they'll go to one doctor when they have a condition and get treatment. Then they'll go someplace else and keep hopping around. And so the thing about asthma, and especially in pediatrics and children, every time a child has a wheezing episode, the first time is not asthma. That just increases the risk of asthma by 30%. The second time, another 30%. That's 60%. The third time, 90%. By the fourth episode, then we diagnose asthma. But if you are taking your child to different doctors each time, there's no way to know. Did they had wheezing last time? You know what I'm saying? So
okay, the records. The records,
so
keeping a track.
Yeah, so it's, you want to have a continuation of care, It's important. Even for adults, it's important to have a doctor or maybe two, but at least one or two that you stick to, that your records are there. There have been times when a patient has come to me, an adult has come and said with something, and I say, hey, you had this before. No, doc, I didn't have that before. I go back in the records. I say, look, and I show them, look, you had this exact thing, and they're shocked. And I would remember, and it's in the records. So the continuity of care is so important, especially for someone who has a chronic, non-communicable disease like asthma. You want to have the records. You want to have somebody who knows what's happening, what happened, what treatment worked this time. You know what I'm saying? So you can look back and get that proper care. This doctor hopping thing is no good.
Okay. Yeah, there must be continuity.
You can hop around till you find someone you're comfortable with, and then stick to that doctor, because they will be invested in you. In the middle of the night, if you call them, they're more likely to come to your assistance if you're someone who comes regularly. If you come win watermelon flower every 10 years, you know what I'm saying? It's a relationship.
Yes.
It's a team effort. I will help take care of you. It's not just, I'm not taking care of you, but I will assist you in your care. And you need to now also be in touch with me, come and see me, what's going on. Have you checked your, You
can't be strangers.
You can't be strangers.
You can't be strangers. So, another thing, most of the times children go to school and they get an asthma attack at school. do you think the school system or teachers and caregivers, let's say daycare and so forth, what are some of the things they need to know in the event that a child gets an asthma attack?
Well, I mean, obviously they need to recognize some of the symptoms, the shortness of breath, the nasal flaring, the coughing. But, it's not that common to get asthma attacks at school. Asthma is more of an evening, nocturnal, early morning kind of disease. And most times the children would have been coughing for days before. So they're usually signs. Asthma doesn't normally come on suddenly like that. Usually they would have had the cold, or they've been coughing for a couple of days, or they have a little fever as well. Like, they're things that the parents should already be able to recognize and, inform the teachers, look, Makeda's been coughing for the last couple of days. I've been giving her inhaler. I took her to the doctor. She's on some prednisone for a few days. If she starts coughing excessively, let me know and let her use her inhaler, that kind of thing. But, sometimes the system is so overloaded it might be difficult. So sometimes it might be better to have your child stay home for a couple of days till things settle down with them.
Okay. All right. Someone wants to get some information. Let's,
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yes. All right. Good morning, caller. Welcome. Caller, you need to turn the volume down, please.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
I'm so glad you bring back that talk about asthma, because about 12 years now since I am selling Vicks plants, and the Vicks plant does help a lot of people. Right now it's scarce in town because the people don't have the knowledge to know what kind of soil the Vicks plant like. But right now I have some others, and I have some young ones coming up, and it's very good to inhale. It's good to clean your lungs first thing in the morning, especially with the older leaves. Yes, okay. Man. And it's very good. It's very intuitive. I know asthma is it could kill. Because when you cannot breathe like you don't have no life. Right now I have others for about 7 people. I want to be on the road, 1 in the park, 2 on the carronade, and I have some young ones coming up. So my number is 435-5992. And I hear you all having some, I understand you all having service in front. Wait, no, is that the same station having the service in Front Street from Pastor Prince?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, I see.
Okay, but anyway, thanks for your information as well.
My number is 435-5992. I'm so glad you have brought up that topic, because I use my initiative to grow the plants and to know what soil is like. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, caller. What plant is it she's talking about?
I don't know. I'm not a herbologist, a Vicks plant. I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, all right. Are there any local herbs that can be used for asthma?
Well, there are a lot of herbs that can be used for a lot of things, but unfortunately, I was not educated in herbology, so I can't comment.
Okay, all right, because
but I'm sure.
Yeah, I know my grandmother tried a lot of herbal things, but I'm not certain that they worked. Because maybe she herself did not quite understand, because she was treating me for a cold. So she was trying to get me to vomit.
Yeah, a lot of patients and parents, think that yes, it's a cold, and yes, as I told you, that is one of the most common triggers. But then when the cold symptoms go and the cough persists, you need to seek attention.
It's lungs related. Good morning, caller. Oh, sorry, we lost that call. So all right, let's get back to that call. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, King Innocent, good morning, and good morning to your guest. I heard the lady before was talking about the Vicks plant, etc., and I heard the reply of your guest, and I agree with you, because you see, these things have to be tried, tested. In old time days, yes, people used to do that, but these days you can't. You have to know what proportion you take, what time, etc. It has to be thoroughly researched. So I agree with the lady, because I remember somebody the other day was telling me about that somebody could tell him to drink some Noonie for diabetes, and the person ended up in the hospital. And next one again, they wanted the heart unblocked, the the doctor give them a medication, somebody come and tell them about something else, they go on to block something, and the person eventually died. So, yes, we appreciate the lady that called and say the VIX plan, so I have no problem with that lady, I compliment you. But I want to just caution people that don't just go and take these things. You have to know the proportion, what time, and these things have to be thoroughly researched and scientifically proven before you take anything for asthma, etc. Thank you, my friend. I will talk to you later if you have an open thing, King. But of course, I love you and have a great day. And always remember, sail on the seas of ambition and land on the shores of success.
Thank you. Love you more. All right. That's my people. That's my people. Those are my people.
Wonderful.
Yeah. In asthma, there is something that is referred to as the rule of two.
Yes. So the rule of two has to do with whether your asthma is under control or not. So if you use your inhaler less than 2 times in day per week and less than 2 times at night per month, then you're considered under control. Conversely, if you use your inhaler more than 3 times per week regularly, then you need some assistance with managing your asthma. So normally people just know about the blue Ventolin and they know about the Becotide, which is a tan color. But now there's another one called a long-acting beta agonist, which is formoterol or salmeterol, and those are really the ones that are recommended. So lucky for us, I checked with the dispensary. We do have the Becotide and the salbutamol on our formulary, so people can get it from the government dispensaries. But I think the next step is to get the long-acting beta agonist, which is it's like Symbicort and Advair. Those are like the brand names, and these are the ones that have been really recommended to use to control your asthma. So the one called Ventolin that opens the airways relieves you. But we don't just want to relieve our asthma, we want to control it and prevent it. Right. So the inhaled corticosteroids are really important.
Do you have like an asthma organization in Grenada?
As far as I know, we don't.
And we should.
Well, we should, or at least, focus on educating in terms of educating the population. And then, oh my gosh, don't talk about technique. Many people just use the inhaler directly in their mouth, and the technique is very poor. When they breathe out, all this white stuff comes out, which is the medication. It's not getting into the lung where it needs to get to. So there's something called a spacer, and the spacer, when you shake your inhaler and you put it and you press, it holds it in this space, and you can take 6 nice deep breaths to get that medicine down in the lung where it needs to be. When they go around and some of them puff and they swallow, they're not treating their esophagus or their stomach. They have to inhale to breathe into the lungs. So the spacer is really helpful. They have the ones with the mask for kids, and then they have the one with the mouthpiece for the adults. And it's just so much more effective to get the medicine where it needs to go.
So what final message you can give to the general public?
I just really want to tell people that, chronic coughing and wheezing and chest tightness are not normal things. And if these things persist, especially after you've had a cold or you're exposed to smoke or whatever, that you need to check your healthcare provider to see, do I have asthma, and how do I prevent it? I think prevention is really the main thing with asthma, and just keeping your asthma under control.
And you can do that best by having a good relationship with your physician.
Yes, and they can check you and keep tabs on you, and you can keep in touch with them. And this thing about when the child has asthma, they can't do cross country and all that, it's because their asthma is not under control. There are many Olympians who are asthmatics who have won gold medals. Yeah. And this thing about not putting the foot on the floor and a lot of opening the fridge, these things are kind of not the norm. I mean, these things, we have these in our mind as a cultural thing, but really and truly, most times it just limits the child or the person, instead of, controlling it with your inhalers, both the long-acting beta agonists, and, trying to live a life as comfortable and as active as possible. It's not a matter of keeping yourself from being active. You need to get out there. And
as a matter of fact, the more active you are, it could be better.
Yes, of course.
Because it keeps your lungs in a better state.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And as Asthma Day today, what's the special message?
The special message is to make inhaled treatments accessible for all. Inhaled treatments. So we're really lucky in Grenada because we have access. If you go to Casualty or you go to many of your doctors, they do have the nebulizer. I have patients and families who purchase nebulizers and can use them at home. The nebulizer is a machine that you have to put medication in, and you can inhale the medication. And then we have inhalers on the formulary, so there's no excuse why we can't access these medications in Grenada.
Okay. Any parting words?
That's it.
That's it. Well, Dr. Lowe, it's been a pleasure. Yes, all right. So remember, she can carry you from the cradle to the grave. I like this. You know, she's
internist and a pediatrician. Double trouble.
Wow. That life it's a good life.
Yeah, man. It's basically family practice, but at a higher level.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for dropping by. And,
yes, thank you for having me.
You will be hearing from me.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. I look forward to it. At this ripe age, I need to be visiting someone like you. Oh, for sure. Yes. Definitely. And I'll take good care of you. Come when things are good, and I'll keep you healthy. Yes. Don't wait till watermelon flower and...
I'm coming to make sure that all the organs, the keyboards, the guitar, everything...
Yes.
Everything is working.
Exactly.
All the organs. Folks, I've been speaking with Dr. Keisha Lowe on this day, World Asthma Day. Please, be mindful of the signs and symptoms of asthma attack. Remember, asthma is not a cold. All right? Stop being misinformed. Asthma is not a cold. Okay? And be in contact with your physician if you are having problems, or your child or someone that you're close to, you think they're having irregularities in their breathing patterns and so forth. It's better be safe than sorry.
Definitely.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Folks, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we've got another guest on the program.
Attention all divers, snorkelers and underwater enthusiasts. Effective May 15th, 2025, all visitors to the renowned Mullinair Underwater Sculpture Park will be required to pay a small fee of US $3.50 or EC $10 per person. These fees are essential to support the ongoing maintenance and repairs of the sculptures, as well as the development of new features to ensure the park remains a world-class attraction. Payment can be made through the Grenada Tourism Authority's online payment portal, available on the Pure Grenada website, www.puregrenada.com. We thank you for your support in enhancing this extraordinary underwater product. This announcement is brought to you by the Grenada Tourism Authority and the Ministry of Tourism, dedicated to protecting and conserving Grenada's resources for the enjoyment of all.
Need to install or repair your plumbing? We've got you covered. Whether you're setting up a new washing machine, replacing a leaking faucet, or fixing that pesky dripping pipe, the Plumbing Supply Store is your go-to place in Grenada. We offer a wide range of plumbing products to make both new installations and maintenance a breeze. Our shelves are stocked with top quality products, including pressure and waste fittings. And if you've been struggling with blocked drains, have you heard of Melt? This powerful drain-on blocker liquid is a game changer, designed to prevent and clear blockages, making it ideal for hairdressers dealing with clogged wash sinks. We also carry a wide selection of repair kits and replacement parts to bring new life to old plumbing fixtures. Visit us today on the Woodlands Main Road or call 444-1377 for expert advice, top-notch products, and a warm welcome. At the Supply Store, we do everything plumbing.
Get ready, Grenada. The Maggie King of the Grill is back and bigger than ever. On Saturday, June 7th, Monroe's playing field transforms into the ultimate battleground for grill masters. Think you got what it takes? Then fire up those grills and show your skills. Registration closes Friday, April the 11th, so don't miss your chance to compete for that sizzling prize and bragging rights. It's food, fun, and flavor, all powered by Maggie. To register, call 407-8458. Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules. See you there.
GBN presents the 2025 Maggie King of the Grill, Saturday, June 7th, Monrouge Plainfield from 11 a.m. Our partners, Maggie, the secret of great flavor, Grenada Distillers Limited, makers of Clark's Court, Grenada's #1 rum, Grenada Paper Products, makers of Cherish, Spring Soft, Harbour Bay, and Super Value Toilet Paper, and Royal, Quick and Easy, and Horizon Paper Towels, Budget Foods Inc., Classic Lighting, and Blue Bubbles PA Rental and Event Supplies. It's the 2025 Maggie King of the Grill, where flavor rules.
Coming up, crop overs already in the air, along with all the hype. They conquered the Caribbean, now they're ready for the world. Solid financial support joins the battle versus severe medical conditions. There's absolutely everything you need and then some at this resort. It's all next on this station.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. As I told you this morning, it's a great morning. I've got two goodly gentlemen with me. They are from the Citizen Advisory Committee.
Citizens Advisory Body.
Right. Yes, gentlemen. Firstly, let's get the names. I know Corporal what?
Noel.
Corporal Noel and
Adrian
Harford. All right, gentlemen. It's an honor to have you with us this morning, and let's cut to the chase. The Citizens Advisory Body. What is that all about?
Well, first of all, good morning to your viewing public and your listening public. And thank you for the opportunity to be here. And I just want to categorize and say that I am from the Citizen Advisory Body. This gentleman to my left is representing the Royal Grenada Police Force.
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So the Citizen Advisory Body, right? It's a liaison. We try our best to work with the public and the local authorities, which in Grenada is the government. We tried at a point in time to look out for the community.
Okay.
All right. So the community's approach to viewing things, seeing things, looking at issues that affect the community, and we would recommend to the local authorities the best outcome. So let me give you a practical example. Say we have a need for a bus stop in a community. Okay. All right, and we realize that people are stopping buses around a corner and there's no safe space for them to get onto the bus or exit the bus. We could recommend that a bus stop be put in place.
Okay, so you look out for the citizens.
We look out for the citizens in a practical sense.
Okay. All right, that's awesome. So what are some of the areas in which you look out for? I mean, like the issue of the bus stop, I like this, but what other areas in terms of price control and things like that, you all look at pricing? And
well, I think if whatever affects the community and is raised with and reaches our ears or our sight, we can have some discussions with the relevant authorities and see if it's feasible for there to be any changes and so forth. But as you speak about price control, there's a Bureau of Standards
that
facilitates and has some control in terms of that.
Does that body really work?
Well, the thing about it is that if there are price control items, I think it should. If there's not a price control on that item, I think it's a free market economy in that sense. Okay. But the essence of it is, no matter which part you look at it, whether it's price control, bus stops, juvenile delinquency, transportation and parking issues, because you might have a community where there's some parking issues where there's always one lane when there should be two, and proper flow of traffic, so there's obstructions. And one of the main reasons we're here today is to speak about bicycles.
Yeah,
and especially
that is where the police comes in.
That is where the police comes in.
Because only last week, I'm happy that you raised that. It's last week or the week before. After finishing here, I was driving through Tempe and I saw a big crowd right by the roundabout by the Coke factory there.
Yes.
And when I watch, I see somebody lying on the ground, and I get to understand it's a youngster on a bicycle that ran into a vehicle, and the ambulance had to rush and so forth. So that's a very, very pertinent topic. So what's the angle we're taking with this?
Well, I will probably speak more of the law about it. I just want to preface by saying, I'm representing the St. Paul's Citizen Advisory Body. All right. We intend to have a national body at some point in time, an executive body, to have citizen advisory bodies all over Grenada. All right. The intent is to look at our community, see what is taking place, and see how we can bridge the gap between the community and our local authorities.
Okay.
All right. So with reference to the bicycles, what we have been seeing is issues regarding no lights. They're riding at night, which is very dangerous, not to themselves only, but other road users and pedestrians.
No lights, yeah.
Yes. They don't have bells, so they cannot signal when they're approaching or anything of that sort. They don't use any signals, so you don't know what direction they're going. Sometimes they're heading left, and they're heading along a public road, and they're going across the road, and they go into a by road, which is very dangerous to persons and to themselves. And it's unfortunate that we don't obey the rules of the road a lot of times, and that is very dangerous. And we don't want to wait until somebody dies again and seriously injured again to speak about it. So we realize there is a need, and we seize the opportunity to come.
I'm happy that you identify the fact that you're not a national body as yet per se. You're for St. Paul's area, but an entity like this, I would love to see an overall entity that looks after the citizens of the country.
Yes.
So that's a good prototype that other communities can follow and eventually have a national body. Let's get to the issue of the bicycles now. Copy. We're seeing there's nothing wrong with bicycles, because as a matter of fact, cycling is a good, healthy exercise. But the proliferation of bicycles on our nation's roads, what's the law saying about that?
Well, good morning to the viewers, first and foremost. In regard to the laws in relation to bicycles, the laws are not so different from vehicles. The only difference is the section or the regulation. The road traffic regulation, Regulation 9, indicates all the motor bicycles offenses, the different sections, of that regulation, brings out all the different bicycle offenses. So every time a bicycle has an accident, or we believe that a bicycle rider has to be charged during an accident, we have to take that regulation into consideration. And that regulation would indicate all the different types of items that you expect to have in relation to having a bicycle on the road. For example, bicycles are not to just be ridden on the road like that, with freedom of riding. That rider of the bicycle, or the owner of the bicycle, must first identify the serial number of that bicycle, which is most times on the frame of the bicycle or beneath the seat of the bicycle, and they have to identify those serial numbers, bring that serial number to the police station, along with relatively proper sounding bell, and a good rear light as well as headlight. The headlight is it must be properly illuminated. The rear light must be red, and at times I should say they can flash, and the bell must be able to hear it from a distance. When you would have brought those things, you can come to the station and have your vehicle or your bicycle registered. In this case, I didn't say license, but I said registered, because there is no license for bicycle, but it can be registered. And in so doing, the police officer who is responsible for licensing that bicycle must registering that bicycle must clearly point out all the regular expectation of the rider. Let him know that he must be riding on the left side of the road, because that's the law in which we operate, and let him know of all the different dangers. Well, he may not get all we have to find some by himself on the road, but the more frequent dangers on the road, inform him of those. That way you give him a clear insight as to how he's supposed to be riding on the road, not all through traffic and on the right and all that stuff. Those things are dangerous and create problems.
Let me ask this. Are cyclists required to follow the normal laws that are laid down in the highway code, like in terms of the use of roundabouts and right of ways and things like that?
Right, so that's why I said he must enlighten the rider, because it is in fact the truth. They have to follow all the different rules in relation to the Road Traffic Act. And as much as the bicycles may not have indicator lights, riders are expected to indicate when they're moving. Sometimes you slip the hand off the handlebar and you indicate right by pointing that direction, or left by pointing that direction. He must identify the roundabout laws that indicates giving way to traffic on the right at all time, and so on. And he must also identify the rules that said it must be safe to overtake, because some bicycle riders do overtake, especially in slow traffic, and they bob and weave all the time. And those things are dangerous. At the end of the day, they will put themselves into danger, because we see it in town all the time, all on the sidewalk. It is against the law as well, and those laws are highlighted under the Road Traffic Regulation 9. So it means now that as much as we may think it's just pedestrian moving through, there are laws for them.
Well, let me ask this. I mean, based on what you've said there, it appears to me that we have a lot of illegal riders on the road,
and that is a fact. And one may say that the police isn't doing what they're supposed to.
Well, I let you say it for yourself, right?
One may say that, but it's not that. That is not the case. Sometimes the police has so much that they have to deal with on a daily basis in terms of the traffic, that those things just slip through.
They're looked at as minors.
As minor issues. They can create problems, we know that. But at times, the police throw a blind eye. Depending on the situation, because the vehicles are more important at this stage. But these things are not educated to our public. Our public are not empowered in these regards. And before the police taking serious action in regards to those things, it is important to empower the public first.
And that is where I think your organization will come in. So from your organization's perspective, do you intend to, from your little corner where you are, the St. Paul's area, are you going to have forums where you can sensitize the public onto the do's and don'ts as it relates to cycling?
Well, yes. Well, we intend to, at some point in time, have a forum at the St. Paul's Community Center, where persons can come and police officers will be there to actually assist them in registering their bicycles, providing information for them. We intend to do a public service announcement, maybe in form of a video as well, by one of the reputable videographers in Grenada, to highlight what is necessary for your bicycle to be registered, safety tips, do's and don'ts on the road, to educate our public. So at the end of the day, it's not just St. Paul's. All over Grenada have a issue with bicycles not being registered and persons using the bicycles on the road in illegal ways, which may harm themselves and others. So it's not just for St. Paul's. The whole point about it is for our road and safety measures to be put in place for everyone. Okay. And that is the intent.
We have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, President, good morning. I am rather shocked and surprised to know that in today's world in Grenada, bicycles are not inspected. You bring a bicycle where the police headquarters is now. Your brakes was tested. You see, you have a bell or a horn or something like that. What is going wrong? Why is the law relaxing on things like that? That's why you have all of these nonsense going on. A guy run into a car. That never used to happen. I rode a bicycle and had to go along with the law. Something is wrong somewhere.
Okay, thank you, caller. Yeah, we know something is wrong, so what are the steps that can be taken to remedy it? Let me ask this, as it relates to a cyclist attire, protective gear and so forth, are there any regulations as it relates? I know motorcyclists have to have helmets. Is that's the same law applicable to cyclists?
As a matter of fact, yes. Regulation 9 does speak about the headgear and so on of the for the motorcyclist, for the bicyclist. But the hurtful part or the shameful part of the situation is that whereas if I were to advise or to address that caller's situation, whereas the country or the police does not maybe not seek to ensure that the inspection is done for those most bicycles. That is a matter of choice. That individual has to choose to come to the station and have the bicycle registered. When they do, with no doubt, the police will inspect it, will test the brakes, will test the bell, will look at the lights and everything before having that bicycle registered. So we wouldn't just go out to anyone and ask them to come and register. Mm-hmm. But it is a matter of choice. So when they do, we do the necessaries.
As a police officer parading the streets, patrolling the streets of St. George's, and you see a bicycle riding through, maybe not fast, but from your vantage point, you see right away he doesn't have a headlight or a light attached in front, nor the back. You look on the handlebars, there is no bell. What do you do?
From time immemorial, I've noticed it. The police confiscate bicycles.
Okay.
And for those reasons, they do.
Okay. All right. Back to your organization now.
Yes, sir.
So you intended to have some sort of forum where you would invite the general public within to discuss this matter. How serious a matter is it from your organization's perspective? For it to be the talking point this morning, it must be something that you all have looked at.
Yes, well, it's something that was discussed at meetings, and we because we myself and others, based on our professions, we travel throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique at times. So we have observed the dangers of it, and we have seen that even in speaking to some of the young men who use these bicycles, some of them are not aware that there's regulations for it. Some of them say, well, I had an old bicycle frame home, so I borrow 2 tires from a partner and I get a chain, and me and my partner are under the house and we fix up the bicycle and I gone on the road, and when I want to stop I put on my foot.
Yeah.
Like in the old Indies, sometimes we used to do a lot of crazy things.
Yeah.
Not understanding how serious it is and how dangerous it is. And we realized, before we start being punitive to people, sometimes you have to educate them and let them understand the do's and don'ts. And I think that's the effort we are trying to make we're going to be having that forum to enlighten persons and give them the opportunity to bring their bicycle in and have it inspected and say, well, you need to get this, you don't need to have that, you need to get this and the other.
It's critically important. Well, gentlemen, we've exhausted time. We have to join the BBC, but are there any parting words, anything you thought you left out from your organizations?
From the organization standpoint, we are endeavoring to have a national body. We are in talks with different persons already there. Other than our branch, there are branches elsewhere in Grenada as well.
Okay.
But we want to strengthen those branches, and we want to have some conversations with the police and so forth. People think citizen advisory body is part of the police. No,
it's not.
No, it's not. We are a separate entity, and we want to have a safer community. So obviously we will work with the police from time to time, but not just the police. Any entity that we can partner with to make Grenada safer and make our citizens more happy, we tend to do so. I just want to plug in one thing here. I work at the Child Protection Authority. And our managing director, Mr. Paul, we are celebrating 15 years.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Child Protection Authority already?
Already. That's to tell you how time flies.
Wow.
So we are going to be having some, from this May to next year May, we'll be having different activities through that time period, starting with our church service and so forth. But what I really want to let the public know that we'll be having pop-up gatherings for persons to come and speak to the Child Protection Authority, learn from what we do and so forth. Those pop-up booths will be just randomly chosen in different areas that we think needs it.
Could I make a request?
Yes.
Could you all have a visitation by me one morning?
I think we can organize that.
Yeah, please. We'll arrange this.
Yes.
15 years is something to be celebrated.
I quite agree.
Yeah. So definitely we'll have that talk after.
Yes. Okay. And one last thing is that regarding not just the pop-up booths, but we are inviting persons, if you have sporting or any social events that you want CPA to be a part of, we are willing to work with you.
That's the Child Protection Authority?
The Child Protection Authority.
Wow, that's awesome.
All right, so we can reach via 2 ways. You can call 422-9316, or you can email us at info@cpa.gov.gd.
Repeat that.
Info, INFO, @cpa.gov.gd.
Okay.
All right?
All right. Copy? Any parting words?
Yes.
Just tell the cyclists to behave.
Yes, tell the cyclists to
come and register.
Yes.
And do the right things.
Yes.
All right. Okay, it's a pleasure to have you guys, and I really want to commend yourself and my good friend Judy Benoit, who says she wants to sit and listen this morning.
Yes.
My darling. Okay, and the rest of your organization. I think it's a very noble gesture, and I wish that these are some of the initiatives that people should copy.
I think so.
This should be a copied initiative. So I would like to see citizen advisory bodies in almost every village, and then have a spearhead body.
Umbrella body.
So thank you, gentlemen, for dropping by. And like I said, we'll have to have that conversation because I want the Child Protection Authority on my program one of these mornings.
Yes.
But we've got to go. We've got to join the BBC, which is already in progress. Folks, that's it for the conversation. Thank you very much for your participation one way or the other, and if the good Lord spare our lives, we'll have another one tomorrow, same time, same place, same channels, platforms. Bye-bye.